All right. Thank you very much. Thank you for joining the session today. Glad to be here presenting on the new dental benefits from the Guardian Life Insurance Company. As you can see in the bottom left-hand corner, this kicks off May 1st. For anyone who's getting work done currently and it's being covered by the current carrier, you don't have to worry. Any service that spans across May 1st from before to after, the work will be picked up by Guardian if it's already undergoing. So you don't have to worry about any services you're getting done or plan to get done just before May 1st. Guardian will pick up the work in progress and be able to cover that for you. A couple things to note. The ConFORMis benefit and HR team did a really great job putting together a very rich package for you. And there's a lot of enhancements here in the dental program, including network and plan design, which everyone will be able to reap the benefits from. So let's dive into it a little bit more. Here's some of the agenda, what we're going to cover today. A little bit about who Guardian is. We're going to talk about the plan design and enhancements that we're seeing this year. We're going to talk about the Guardian Vision Access Program, which is a value add. We're going to talk about the employee experience and what resources you're going to have at your fingertips. And we're also going to talk about another value add called the college tuition benefit. All right, so dental is Guardian's #1 product. So you picked the right carrier. This is the product that Guardian really focuses on and takes a lot of pride in. Most of the business that we do revolves around around dental in some way, to the point where we have most of our clients as dental customers, and they like to package other lines with us. So dental really carries the load for Guardian. So it's something we're very experienced in and very versed at, and we pay millions of claims a year, so we've seen it all. As we mentioned, Guardian will be taking over on May 1st. This comes with some nice plan enhancements in the coinsurance and reimbursements from Guardian, as well as out-of-network reimbursements and the access to a larger PPO network with deep discounts. So the first thing we want to mention is that no matter who your provider is, if you have someone who you've been going to for a long time, or they're a family member or a close friend, you can go to any dentist you want and you'll have coverage, whether it's in or out of network. We recommend going in network though, because there's a lot of positive aspects that come from going in network for the group and for the employee themselves. Most of it coming, in the form of saving dollars. So if any provider is contracted with Guardian, and the first bullet applies to any provider at all, whether in or out of network, there's no claims forms. So you don't need to go to the provider and pay for the service and fill out a form and be reimbursed by Guardian. Every provider is going to work with Guardian directly, accept their money, and bill Guardian for your coverage. So you don't have to worry about doing paperwork or administration on that aspect. Those providers that are in network and contracted with us may be a little more efficient and quick to get this done. So that's another reason to go in network. Also, any provider who's in network with us, and that actually means is that they accept a discount on their services because they want Guardian customers to come to their office. So any provider who's contracted with Guardian in network, and if you call, you'll say, are you contracted with the Guardian PPO network? Not, do you accept Guardian? Because that will really indicate whether they're contracted with Guardian. But if they are, they accept a large discount. In Mass, where I live, it averages 38%. Across the country, it averages 34%. So you're going to save a lot of money for ConFORMis and the loss ratio and the claims that come in, and you're also going to save money out of pocket, which we can get into a little more with the plan design. And the third bullet point is a great segue. That's exactly what's going to happen is you're going to lower your out-of-pocket expenses when you go in network, because you're going to be accessing discounted services. For any service over $250, we recommend you ask your provider to get a pre-treatment estimate. Most providers will know how to do this and get in contact with Guardian, tell them what the service is, review the coverage that you have, and be able to speak to how much out-of-pocket cost that service is going to cost you and how much, it'll charge you against your maximum. So please, if you have a question or you're concerned about what the cost is going to be for a certain service, ask your provider to work with Guardian to get a pre-treatment estimate. It's very easy to find an in-network provider. You can click on the link below, or you can go to guardiananytime.com, and on the top bar, there's a tab that says Find a Provider. You're going to select PPO network, not a managed care network, and you'll type in the zip code that you're looking for a provider in, and you can go from there. You can filter down to specific types of providers within certain miles radius of that zip code and more. But please take the time to look for in-network providers. Getting into the plan a little bit itself. As you can see, the services are listed on the left and the reimbursements are listed on the right. One column is for in-network and the other is for out-of-network. As you can see, if you go in-network, you won't be subject to deductibles at all. In both categories, in or out of network, you are not subject to a deductible if you go in for preventive services, what says here preventive type A services. They're both covered at 100% by Guardian, so Guardian will pay the full cost and you won't have to pay any money out of pocket for your deductible. So everyone go get your preventive services, your cleanings and x-rays done. It's no cost to you out of pocket, so make sure you do that. For any services type B or C in network, you will not be subject to a deductible. You will be subject to a deductible out of network for those services, up to $50, up to $150 for a family. So that would mean each person, 3 people together, up to $150. Your calendar year maximum is $1,500. That means Guardian will pay for your plan up to $1,500 per year. That's a pretty rich benefit. Most people don't even hit $1,000, so having $1,500 is a nice feature. And then we have maximum rollover, which I'll get into in a little bit, which extends your annual maximum. As you can see below in the different co-insurance amounts for preventive, basic, and major, if you go in network, Guardian is going to cover more of those services or more of the cost. 100 for preventive services, 100% of the cost for basic, and 60% for major services. Out of network, it's 100% for preventive, as I mentioned, down to 80% for basic and 50% for major. And remember that those services out of network are not going to be discounted. So you're paying a larger percentage of the cost and the service is not discounted. If you go in network, you will pay a smaller percentage of the cost and you will be paying off a discounted service averaging, anywhere from 30 to 40%. You have orthodontia coverage as well for children up to age 19, 50%. You really want to look in network for orthodontia because you get a nice substantial discount on a very expensive service. Guardian will pay up to $1,500, but if you go in network, that $1,500 will go further for discounted orthodontia services. As I mentioned before, there's an opportunity with the maximum rollover to extend your annual maximum. If you go in and get your preventive services done and you don't hit over $700 in a year, so Guardian is not paying more than $700 for you in one single year, you can roll over $350 to the next year's annual maximum. So you'll get a new $1,500 plus a $350 rollover amount. So as you can see in the example here, Jane got the $350 rollover amount, and now she has an annual maximum of $1,850. So in year 2, she only submits $500 in claims, gets the rollover again. Now her account for year 3 is $2,200. The reason this is a good benefit is because The more Guardian pays, the less chance you have of paying out of pocket for services, especially if something happens where you have a big service, you need an implant, you need a root canal, a bridge, something of a larger scale. Those are higher cost services, and if you have a larger annual max, Guardian is going to cover more of that service for you. Here's another graphic of what that could look like, where the 350 rolls over and stacks on top of the 1500 max every year, allowing you to have a large annual max in case of any large services, or especially if you're in the family tier, you want to have a larger max because kids get a lot of work done when they're younger. Their mouths change and grow, and they get a lot of services done, especially orthodontia. And I'll just caveat that by saying each person has their own annual maximum and rollover account. And Guardian keeps track of that and can provide you reporting on that as well. Guardian Vision Access Program is a value-added service. For anyone who elects Guardian dental coverage, you have the ability to get 20% discounts at any VSP vision provider network. Any provider in the VSP Vision network. They have a very large network. They're one of the premier vision carriers in the country, and it's easy to find providers for them in network on their website. What you get is 20% off retail fees just by presenting your Guardian dental ID card or giving them your social security number. This 20% applies to eye exams, frames, lenses, contact lenses, and even LASIK if you elect to get that. Be sure to use this program if you're getting any vision services done. This slide talks a little bit about the employee experience that we normally see from our clients. We take a lot of pride in our dental product, as I mentioned, and we're very responsive and quick to resolve issues if they should come up. I really recommend calling Guardian to get the most expedited response. Only 4% of calls go on hold, and 82% are answered in 30 seconds or less, which is a great stat. So there's not a lot of waiting around, and you get your answers right away. We see a lot of satisfaction, and we have a lot of tenured employees who are here to help you and who know how to get things done within Guardian. As you can see from the bottom, we process millions of claims a day, and we're very efficient and quick at doing it. So you can rely on us to be your administrator and get things done quickly for you. Our hours of operation span from 8 a.m. to 8:30 p.m. So that gives you some flexibility if your appointment is after hours, after work, or just before. Guardian will be open to help you if you have any questions. This slide talks a little bit about our resource called Guardian Anytime. This is a website and a mobile application, and you can log in and create an account based on your coverage with Guardian. The top two aspects are the things that people use it for most. The first is finding an in-network provider. As I mentioned, if you go in, you can filter down to your zip code, select the PPO network, and you can search by specific providers or specific types of providers. The next is you can print or view your ID card. If you don't like to have a physical ID card in your wallet, you can have it right there online, print it out if you need it, or have it on your phone. There's educational materials and dental cost estimator tools to help you understand what services are available to you, what services are new in the industry and that you could take advantage of, and also what those services usually cost and might cost you upon your visit. And again, you can speak to a live representative. The number on the bottom right there is where you would call. Please access Guardian anytime, poke around, and you could pretty much find anything you need on Guardian anytime. Go in there, create an account. It's very quick. This talks about some of the same resources, but through the mobile application. It's offered for iPhone and Android. Again, people mostly use it to locate providers. You can save your favorite providers, look at maps of how to get there, and you can also have your ID card right there on your phone, should you prefer to have it on the mobile app. This slide here talks about our college tuition benefit, which is a value-added service for anyone who signs up for our dental program. The college tuition benefit is essentially a savings account, which anyone who signs up for Guardian Dental gets $2,000 credited to their account every year that they're with Guardian. Should they leave the employer or something happen with their coverage, they can port this account with and take it with them as well. Sage College Tuition Benefit is the provider, and what they've done is create a network of over 370 private colleges and universities across the country who accept these accounts. So every year that you have Guardian Dental, you'll get $2,000 plugged into your account. What you'll want to do is go online to www.collegetuitionbenefit.com, create a username and password, and you can see your account grow from there. It's that simple. What you'll need to do, though, is plug in a specific dependent or a couple specific dependents who might be eligible or looking forward to going to college in the next several years. And that definition of dependent is very loose with the college tuition benefit program. It can be your grandchild, godchild, nieces, nephews. So it's a lot more flexible than a legal dependent. So again, go in there, create an account, check out the list of colleges. There's some really good named schools in there. I live in the Boston, Massachusetts area, and there are several top tier schools which are in the network. So you may have a dependent who you can help subsidize their college education for. As we know, every year the cost of college goes up, so any dollar amount can help. And that's all. Thank you for your time today, and we look forward to providing you coverage for the next several years.